Hi, and how are ya? This is Kelsey with Kelleezielke and Things, and this is Flosstube episode 17. Hi! It's been only a month, so I feel like I'm doing pretty good that I'm back with a new video already. I have lots of finishes. I've got some whips, and then I have a few other project-y things that I would love to show you today. So I'm just going to dive right in and start with my fully finishes. Oh, I think I'm going to show some of my past like fall finishes as well. So yeah, let's just dive right in. This first one I'm going to start with, I was supposed to share in my last video, and it's actually even on my thumbnail, but I just forgot to pull it off my fridge because it's a magnet. But it's this little guy. Now, I scoured and tried to find information on this, and I cannot find anything. I can't find who made it, nothing, because what it is a, I think you call them alpha patterns. It's like for crochet, which I crochet, but I have no idea how to follow a pattern like this and what it, I was like, do you put it on a blanket? I have no idea. Because if you ever look up alpha patterns on Pinterest, they look like, I mean, they're just pixelated pictures. They look like a cross stitch pattern. And so I thought that's what they were. And so I had found, if you just like go on Pinterest and type in alpha pattern, you'll just find tons and tons and tons. And I did Halloween alpha pattern. And all they are is pictures, and I couldn't find credits to anything, and so I don't know if that's like a no-no. I'm not sure, but I couldn't find where I could even buy it, so I'm pretty sure it was somebody just putting a freebie online. But yeah, that's how I found it. So if you are interested in doing this, Pinterest, Halloween alpha patterns, and it'll come up. There's so many just like very similar to this, but this is on an 18 count Aida. I'm a pretty regularly do I stitch on Aida. 18 count is my absolute favorite. Is this 18 count or is this, it actually might be even smaller than that, if I'm honest with you. I don't know, because it's pretty tiny. But it's dyed by me. It was called Midnight Blue, Rit dye. And then I just finished it on like a board and then stuck it in this frame, added some magnets to it. And if you've been here long enough, you know my fridge is just covered in gold magnets, in gold frames. So every picture, artwork, whatever is framed. And then I just put magnets on it and put it on my fridge. It just makes my fridge look a little bit like, I don't know, tidier. When you get like a lot of stuff on your fridge, it can look kind of busy. And that's just not my jam. The next finish. This wasn't even a start in my last video, so I started and finished this month. Well, I think I actually finished this in September, but it's the hands-on design give thanks freebie pattern. If you can tell, I got my margins off a little bit when I was making this. So, you know, this should technically be a little bit farther down here. The give should be probably like right where the thanks is, but you know, we live and we learn. And this took me like a night to stitch. I stitched this in like maybe one night plus a little bit in the morning. It didn't take long, so I always figure like if I absolutely can't stand it, I can just stitch it. But honestly, it sits on this little tier tray and I don't mind it. It works perfectly great. So this is just some little like turkey fabric that I found at Joann's, some thrifted rickrack, and then the back, I need to put something over this to hide my stitches, but this is an old pillow cover that I just didn't love anymore, and I was going to donate it. And then it was sitting in my donate pile, and I was like, actually, that's like great fabric. Like, I could do something with that. And so I backed the pillow with it. It's like a corduroy. It's like a velvety. It's really soft and really nice. So I just need to put like either maybe this same rickrack over this, or make a little patch or something. I like how Primrose Cottage does the like wool patches. I like that too. So I just need to finish that. So I guess this isn't totally an FFO, but you know. Last FFO that you haven't seen, the rest I'm gonna do are my previous finishes. This is, I believe it's called Boo. I will put all of the information below, by Hello from Liz Matthews. And this is my finish. So this was also a start and finish this month. I started it in probably September, and I finished it 2 days ago. And so all I did was I sewed it onto this piece of fabric, and then I cut the fabric out, and then these are just little magnets, but it kind of looks like studs, like rivets or whatever, which is what I was kind of hoping the vibe was, if I could get them off. So they're just little magnets, and it's just holding it on there. So it kind of looks like it's like riveted on there. And this is just like an old tin, well, it's not tin because it is magnetic, so it must be like some type of metal. And I just put chalk paint on it, and this is old. Like, whenever chalkboards were like really, really popular, I don't know, 2014 or something. I mean, they still are, but there was like a phenomenon of like people having chalkboards in their house and like chalkboard art and all that. I made this then, and again, I was like going through all my stuff, deciding what I wanted to keep and get rid of, and I was like, I think I'm gonna get rid of this. It was in the donate pile, and then I was like, wait a minute, because I've been trying to think of different ways to finish that are like a little bit more unique and different from what I've been doing. I feel like when I first started cross stitching, I had some like really creative ideas, and then I got stuck in like the pillow and framing and just would do that, which there's nothing wrong with that. I love a pillow finish and I love a cute little framed thing, but I was just trying to like push myself to like, because I feel like I'm a creative person, so I was trying to like push myself a little bit. So I actually love how this turns out, and it sits in this little bookshelf under my TV, and I just love it. I love how it turned out. I just put some, I had it just on here, and I felt like the black needed something, so I just put some like little like stars and stuff. Love that finish, and I love that stitch. I did everything called for, but I either did Weeks Dye Works or DMC. So I had Carrot from Weeks Dye Works, and it might be the only Weeks Dye Works I had because I don't have that much Weeks Dye Works. Yeah, so the Boo is Carrot in Weeks Dye Works, and then everything else is the called for DMC. So I just flopped. So to previous finishes. If you haven't been here, then this will be new to you. If you have, it's been a while since I've shown these. So first we have, again, I don't remember the name of this, but this is a Pinker and Punkin design. And if you've been here before, you know that I've been slowly stitching a bunch of her salt box houses, which this actually might not be a salt box house, but she's got a bunch of very, very similar patterns to this, and I have been stitching them, and then I've just been adding the month to the bottom. So normally there would be like more of the picture, so like a fence, I think there's a cat, there's more in this picture, and I just took that all off and I just did October. So I've done August, September, October. I was working on July this summer. So hopefully I'll have that done before next July. And then, yeah, I already have November's house picked out. I just haven't started it yet. And I don't mind taking my time on this. On a 14 count Aida, dyed by me. It is pearl gray. And I did a lot of modeling. I made sure it was like really modeled. And when I want it really, really modeled, then I will like take my piece of Aida and like scrunch it really, really tight and wrap it with rubber bands, almost like I'm gonna tie dye it. And for me, that works really well to get, you know, the darker spots and then like the almost white spots. I love how that turned out. And then I finished it on a flat fold, but then I didn't like it, so then I covered it up with this piece of cording. So it's not like, this is one of my, I mean, all these houses were like probably my first finishes I've ever done, flat finishes that I've ever done. So, you know, there's some learning. Okay, and then here's another flat finish. This is my design, and can I remember what it's called? Oh yes, Halloween Country House. I wrote it on the back, guys. Halloween Country House. This is on 14 count Aida, and I stitched it in 2 days. I love it when like past Kelsey is really prepared. Okay, sorry, I got interrupted by a toddler. Don't remember what I was saying about this, but I will have the link to this freebie down below. It's actually on all my videos. And then I also have a Christmas, I think it's called Christmas Town USA is the other little design that I have stitched, and it's just like a little tiny Christmas town. So is that. Then this is probably one of the first things I stitched. Not ever, but it's pretty close. This is a freebie on Pinterest. I never actually found a name for it, so I don't know what it is. I can do some investigating and put it down below if I find it. But this was just a freebie that popped up on Pinterest, and this was before I knew much about cross stitch. So I did it on a 14 count. I don't want to call it Aida because it was so loose. So I don't know if it's like an even weave or I'm not sure. But it's a 14 count, and I did 2/2 on a 14 count. But I don't hate it. I really don't. I still hang it up. I turned it into this like kind of wall hanging. And I had started to turn it into a pillow. You can see where I didn't stitch up the bottom. And then I was like, that's too big of a pillow or too like tall of a pillow. I thought it was weird. So then I just put a dowel rod on it. And now it's like a little wall hanging. So I don't hate it at all that it's so big, but like, look how giant my stitches are. And this guy, the color was so close. I got done like completely stitching him, and the color was so close to the cloth that I went back over him with another 2 threads. So I just stitched the whole thing over again. So technically he's 2/4 or 4/2. I can never get that right. My very first ever finish, and this is, you know, what got me onto Flosstube, is this little guy. This is my first finished, not first started, but first finished. This, is on 14 count white Aida. I started it 9/13/2002, and I finished it 9/18/2002. This is my very first stitch. I love the little ghost on the front porch. I'm just very proud of this. This is like, yeah, I stitched half of that like pumpkin patch, and then I went right to this. And I love it. I finished it in a mason jar lid. I have some little like weights. These are like fisherman weights because it kind of got a little top heavy, and I just glued it to a Django block. So it does sit up. You can't really see it, but it does sit up, and I just put it on my little counter in my kitchen, and I love it. It's still to this day one of my favorites. And there goes one of the weights. So this was another freebie on Pinterest. I will put links to them all, but some of them just don't have names. They're just, you know, it's just like the chart. So I don't know if this one had a name or not, but it's just a cute little stitch, and I made it into a pillow, hanging little pillow finish that I love. This is not a freebie. This is, I think it's called, is this called pumpkin pie? Again, I will put it down below. It is just the pumpkin in a Stitching with the Housewives chart. So I just stitched the pumpkin because this is a little lid. This is actually for dill gherkins, a gherkin pickle lid. But I switched this out. This comes out, and I switched it out for the season, and it's got a magnet on it, and it goes on my fridge. And I switch out the insert, the little disc insert, depending on the season. So this is the one I did for fall. This is the last one, and one of my favorites. This is another freebie online, and it's, I want to say it's French, like the name is like super fancy. I actually just saw Olivia with Pumpkin Hollow Quilts. She has done this one, and it was like, I think it was her last video she showed it, because she was showing past finishes, and I was like, oh, I've done that one. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's on the same fabric as this one. So it's dyed by me. It's the pearl gray Rit dye. And I found this frame at a thrift store, and I framed it up. I love it. It looks a little off center, but it's because of all these vines. You know, I just tried to like center it to that. So the cup isn't exactly centered, but you know, it was so I could fit everything in there. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you my whips. My first one that I'm working on, and these are all active like as of like today or yesterday or the day before. Like I'm working on all of these fall ones like right now. So this is my most urgent. I want to get this done, so I'm working on this the most. This is Ode to Autumn by Tiny Modernist, and it was in the Cross Stitcher magazine. I think I wrote it. Front cover, October 22. But you can buy this from Tiny Modernist now. I think she has finally released it. I wasn't able to find it anywhere for the longest time. But you had to like go find the like magazine issue and buy it. But now you can just get it from Tiny Modernist. And she's got a couple different colorways. Like, I think well, I don't know if that's what you would say, because technically I think all of the threads are the same, but she changed the color of the background. So this is a blue. This is, I think it's steel Zweigart Blue Spruce in a cashel linen. But the one that she just released is like almost like a gray. It looks really cool. I did blue. This is Zweigart Blue Steel. Here is where I'm at. So I don't have very much. This is where I have been working the most, on the bottom. So this is why people have design boards. It makes so much more sense. This is the bottom of the stitch. So I have to finish these pumpkins here, and that pathway, and then that house, and that is it. So I'm really working hard on it. I changed the color of the house, if you can see here I mean, even here you can see how close like this house is to, especially like this side of the house is darker. It's like almost the same color of the fabric, while on mine it was like the exact same color. So I switched it out. I was gonna do pink, and then I got scared because there was like no other form of pink on here. So I took the red from, where did I get red? So I made up a red. I just pulled up a red. I changed out the color of this door. It was supposed to be like an orange, and I didn't love that. So I made this door red, and then I took the red and I carried it over to here. So if you can see, there are two different reds. This is like a little bit lighter, and this is a little bit darker. I probably could have gone even darker, but it works. So yeah, I absolutely love it. And if you can see in the middle, there is a lot of empty space. It's because there is a little poem that goes there. This poem I don't love, but a lot of you, when I showed this the very first time, rewrote the poem for me. I think I have like several different options to choose from, and I love them all. So I just have to choose one. But this one is, Ah, Autumn, I love you, my favorite season, my cozy friend who returns loyally each and every year. It's beautiful. There's nothing wrong with it, but I don't like that it doesn't rhyme for whatever reason. Maybe it's because I have a toddler and all I read is rhyming books. But like to me, I'm like, it doesn't rhyme. It just doesn't. So a lot of you had sent in several videos ago this same phrase just rewritten to where it rhymes, and I love that. So I'll pick one of those and do it, but I'm not gonna stitch it. My idea is, which I stole this from the Periwinkle Stitcher. Well, I didn't steal it from her. I stole it from the Stitchery, which is the embroidery company that she buys all of her like beautiful embroidery kits from. They always have the embroidery piece, and then below it they have like a word or a phrase that's typed in like on a typewriter on like a piece of canvas, and then you stitch that onto your piece. I just love the way it looks, and so I want to do something very similar here. So my friend has a typewriter, and she has agreed to write out a little poem, either one that I pick, or she's actually an amazing poet. So now that I'm thinking about it, I should probably just say, hey, can you write me a little autumn poem? And have her type it on like a canvas piece, and then I can like kind of stitch it in here. We'll see how it looks. That it's what's in my head, and I can't get it out of my head. I just think it would look so cool. I'm just like in love with this piece so much. So I just think that would be, I don't know, I just think it would be really cool. The other thing I'm going to do is remove this border. I like the border, but I don't have room for the border. So I'm going to take it out. My margins are very tight. If you've been here from the beginning, you know that my margins have gotten better and better, but they're tight. Next one that I really want to get finished this year that I'm obsessed with is Plum Street Samplers, The Addams Family. So this is my first ever bought chart that I bought myself from 123 Stitch that came. It's printed. It's beautiful. I love it. This is actually a copy because the other one I kept in the bag and I like don't even want to touch it. But I absolutely love it. If you don't know this pattern, it's the Addams Family, but it's not Morticia and Gomez. It's John and Abigail Adams. You can see their little like colonial outfits. It's so cute. So it's John and Abigail, and then 2 of their 6 children. Abby, Nabby is her nickname, and then her brother, the 6th president of the United States, John Quincy. It's just so fun. I absolutely love this stitch. I think the idea is genius. I think it's beautiful. It's not ironed, but here's where I am at. I have a toddler that just will not nap. This is her nap time. Okay, so I'm using either the called for DMC or the called for Weeks Dye Works. Like, looked at the chart and I said, what can't I switch out? Like, what do I have to use the weeks for? And basically I decided that the ground and these like bright orange pumpkins. Everything else I was like, you know what? The rest looks, I think it was because those had the most like modeling, at least in this picture. So that's kind of what I went by. So that was Cocoa and Weeks Dye Works Carrot. Everything else I did the DMC called for. Next one is the October freebie from Primrose Cottage. If you are not signed up for their newsletters, they have two newsletters. They have a quilting one and a cross stitch one, and at the first something of every month, I think it's the first Thursday, but I could be wrong on that, they send you out either a free quilting pattern or a free cross stitch pattern, or both if you're subscribed to both, which I am subscribed to both. So this is I'll put a picture of what it will look like here, but this is how far I have gotten. I took this camping, and so I only worked on it camping, and I haven't worked on it since, but I do love it, and I do want to keep going on it. I just need like a dark purple. I don't like how it, see if you can get really close, you can see it's like changing from like white to a light purple, and it's just not my favorite. So we're going to rectify that. But I did change out the stars for this, I don't know if you can see that, this sparkly, it's this, it's called for in my Ode to Autumn. I don't know if that's Krynic, but it's, you know, it's got that sparkly strand in it. It's, I can tell you the number. It's C725, and it's called Etoile. That's probably not how you pronounce it, but that's all right. Yeah, I think this is my last current whip. I have other whips, but these, I'm just showing you my current ones. This isn't a whip parade. Oh yes, yes. This is my current car stitch. So my daughter is in preschool now, and so I wait in a lot of pickup and drop-off lines. So this is my current car stitch. This is Pinker and Punkin. My toddler is just making me work extra time on my editing skills. Okay, Pinker and Punkin design. I am almost done with it. There's like a few other things here, but it should be ending like pretty soon here. So I'll maybe attach a picture, or I'll just put the link. I'll put the link to this in there, but it's just like a little, I think it's called Mini Pumpkin Quaker or Mini Pumpkin Sampler, something like that. But I sing Pinker and Punkin's praises all the time because she's just got so many adorable stitches on her site for free. They're all free, every single one, and it shouldn't be because they're so cute. But I'm grateful that she is willing to share with us. Next, I'm going to talk future cross stitch plans, and then I'm going to show a little bit of embroidery, a little bit of quilting, and a little bit of quilting-ish. All right, so I'm being very ambitious because I love fall stitching so much. So this is the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine from, I say 22, the fall issue for 2022, which is where I got the pattern for oh, duh, I could have just showed you this. It is called Boo by Liz Matthews. So this was in that magazine. And then I tagged a few things that I love in this magazine. This is Black Cats Are Seen by Teresa Kogut. I love this one. And then I love this one by Stitching with Housewives, Bucket Brigade Halloween. Love this one, although I hate stitching on Black Ada, but it might be worth it because it's so cute. I love this one, Halloween Parade by Misty Purcell of Luminous Fiber Arts. Love that one. But my plan next is to start this one, Autumn Stars by, oh, yeah, no, we're just going to say of Sub Rosa Design, because Esther, maybe? But I love that one. And this is the colors, and then I just pulled an 18 count Ada. I think it's an 18 count, yep. And then I just coffee dyed it. So it's got some grunge to it, as Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow Quilt would say. Some grunge to it. So that's that one. And then I would love to start When Witches Go Riding by the Prairie Schooler. This is just a PDF printout, but I love this so much. And this one I also did see stitched recently, and I just thought it looked so good. And it's all DMC. So I have those threads pulled too. I just need to find the right piece of fabric for it. So that's that. One thing that I recently got today actually, a thrift little quick haul, which my hauls on here, if you know me, are always thrift hauls. But I got this really cute fabric, like just, it was at Goodwill. It was just cuts of this very fall-ish. And then this is just like a random little one with the green, but I thought this would be such great backing fabric for a little pillow or some type of finish. So I picked that up for 59 cents, all this little fabric. This little tiny fabric bundle I thought was still a really good deal for 59 cents. Before I switch to my other crafts, I'm going to do some mentions. Periwinkle Stitcher, #1. I've been obsessed with her videos and I've been watching all of them. I don't have to tell you why you need to go watch her. If you know who she is, you totally get it. She is a phenomenal stitcher. Her embroidery is impeccable. It's out of this world. And she also does quilting and a lot of applique quilts, but she's just great at everything she does. Her videos are like wonderful quality. Her voice is soothing and relaxing, and she's an instant follow, like 100%. Her videos are long and I love it. Like when I see that she's dropped like an hour 45 long video, I'm like, yes. It might take me a while to watch it, but I will watch it all. It's so good. So great follow. If you know me, I'm obsessed with like British, UK things, TV shows, life, culture, love it all. So to kind of like get a little bit immersed in her world. She's in Wales, but I just love it. To add to that, Bumble Stitches, Nicola, she's from the UK. She also does cross stitch and quilting. Love her stuff. Amazing. Stitchin' B. I'll put all this stuff down below. Her name is Ellie, and she's from Glasgow. And she has got some amazing stitches. Then where else do we want to go? Okay, you all know this one, but these are the ones that I've been watching, and you probably already follow her, but crosshatch quilts. Like, if you don't follow Christy, I don't know what you're doing, because she's amazing. Cross stitch and quilting, which those are my two loves right now. So a lot of these do both, which I love. I love that you can find a little bit of every craft even in the Flosstube world. There's knitting and crocheting and punch needle and quilting and, you know, embroidery. There's so many different things within the cross stitch community that I just love that. The Decorative Den. This is another, like, very multifaceted, lots of different things going on, but she does have, like, specific videos for Flosstube. Then she has specific videos for other crafts. But her name is Charity. She started out in, like, the paper crafting world and then has, like, slowly moved into more things. I think she's still in the paper world, but paper crafting world, but she kind of does everything. House of Stitch and Stash, Rika. I just feel like she's a beautiful soul. She's, like, just so soft-spoken and sweet, and her stitching is amazing. She does a lot of samplers and yeah, just a lot of wonderful things. So give her a follow. Nest of Petals, Rosanna. Again, just impeccable taste. Very, like, dainty and delicate stitching, and yeah, love her. And then last but not least, the Story Stitcher. I recently found her, Joanne. I think it's Joanne. She's an author, and I've actually looked up some of her books, and I've ordered them on Libby, so hopefully I'll be able to read some of her books soon. But she is also a thrifter, which I love, and an author, and see my toddler at the bottom of the stairs, and cross-stitcher, and yeah, so I love her. So those are some good follows. Now I will show you quickly my other crafty stuff. I gotta finish quickly because my toddler is awake. But let's be honest, she never fell asleep. Okay, so this is some embroidery that I'm doing. This is a Christmas gift for my mom. It's gonna be a tea towel. It's just like a large little towel, and I'm just embroidering on half of it like this, because it'll be like over her sink, you know, or her oven or whatever, like that. So we've just got some flowers and some greenery right now. If you're new to my videos, I started with embroidery, and I used to do craft shows and all sorts of stuff, and then I just kind of made my way into cross stitch. But that's that. It's hard to see the transfer from the video, but this is kind of what it will look like. These are the two transfers. Well, let me just hold them up. These little birdies, and then this is the one I'm working on now. So I'm doing this right here. So that's what this is. So that's my embroidery that I'm doing right now. And actually tonight I have art club. Every month I get together with a bunch of my friends and we do art club, which is any type of art that you can think of. I have a friend that does watercolor. I have another friend that does, like, digital art. I have another friend that knits and crochets. I'm normally cross-stitching or quilting. So we just have lots of different things. We just get together. We have snacks. and we just talk and we just craft, and it's like my favorite night of the month, to be completely honest. Okay, now I'm going to share with you my Christmas. Every year I make Christmas ornaments as my gift tags with all my Christmas presents. And so this year I'm making these little quilted stars. This is not done yet, but this is, they will look like this. And then I'm thinking about putting then like a little button in the middle, and then their name or something. I still haven't like completely figured it out yet, but that's kind of my idea. Is the button will go like in the middle, but they'll have their name on there somewhere. I might embroider it on like another little piece of fabric and then attach it somehow. We'll see. So that's that, and I have made quite a few of them. And they're all just a little bit different, but they're really pretty. And this is using like, call it EPP. I printed these out on I made it on Canva, and then I printed them out. And then I wrap this around the cardstock, because that's just cardstock. And then you get these little pieces, and then you slowly stitch them together. Slowly like that until you get that. So it's really fun, and I do this part on the machine, but everything else I hand stitch. So it's something I can take with me on the go too. So I love having projects to have on the go. And I just keep this in as you would a little sewing tin, aka I think this is a, yep, Toll House cookie tin that I thrifted, but I love it. So that is that. And then the only other thing I'm going to show you is my quilt. So I showed you, it was pretty much done in my last quilt, in my last video, but now it is completely finished. So here's the back. This is just like a little lap quilt. Here's the back. This is like a vintage bed sheet that I thrifted. I absolutely love it. It's like raspberries and cherries and I don't know, but I love it. And then here is my quilt. Can't back up any farther, but there it is, all done. I love it. If you can look up close, they're just little mason jars, and I filled them with different fabrics of like fruits. This is probably my favorite one, to be honest. I just love that one. That one's really cute too. But I've got like watermelon and strawberries, so love this quilt. Love, love, love. I almost love the back just as much. I just love how it looks with the binding. But I love this quilt, and I hope to make many more. So, all right, that is my video for today. I hope you had a wonderful day, and I will talk to you whenever I see you next. Bye.